everybody, guess what came today? This is the April owl crate. I know today is May 2nd, but that's okay. They told us it was going to be a little late. They just didn't start shipping till like about a week after their normal ship date. And it's all because of this pandemic stuff. Shipping's mixed up for pretty much everything at the moment. Although I do have something coming that's gonna get here way faster than I thought, which is exciting. Anyway, let's get into the box. I've already sliced the bottom. It's stiff. This is very heavy. So there's something good in here. I know it. I just know it. Okay. Oh. I am so uncoordinated. Here's what it looks like. Spoiler card. The theme is full moon magic. And let's see here. Let me pull some of these squiggles off. Usually I open it and pull the squiggles off. I didn't get that far. But I'm in here with squiggles from the past couple months. I save them in case I need to ship something, and then I've got free packing material. It came in all these boxes. Okay. I am waiting on a unicorn crate box, but she had a problem with the book they planned to do. The publication date got pushed back, so she had to scramble and choose a new book, and now it's, instead of a May box, it's going to be a June box, but that's okay. She's still saying it's probably going to be the last one, so let's see here. We got a pin right here on top, and there's a little box, and there's a little baggie. There's all kinds of goodies in here. Let me see if I can get this turned. Come on. There we go. It's a really cute owl with the phases of the moon. Let me take it out of the package. It's shining, reflecting too much. Full Moon Magic, April 2020, box number 62. So there we go. Hopefully you can see it better now. That looks a little better. I can see the lines anyway. So you got the owl and you got the moon phases, which I think is really cool. This box is intriguing me. It's got the moon phases with an owl face in the middle. Wonder if it's going to be like a necklace, maybe? Oh no, it's like a bracelet. I'm afraid it's not going to fit me. I've got really large wrists, and this is a small bracelet. Can you see that? It's got like a crescent moon and then a dot, which I guess is supposed to be a full moon. But yeah, that's not going to go on my arm. No, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. But it might fit my niece. So I will hold that for her. And maybe at Christmas time she might get it and like it. Okay, what's in this little pouch? It says, a dreamer is one who can only find his way by moonlight. Cute little pouch. It feels, I don't know, like a rough linen. And it's got lots of little bits and pieces. Oh, it looks like some sort of like moon garland thing. With the different phases. And it's long enough I can't really show you the whole thing all at once on screen. But you got the crescent and the half and the gibbous and the full, and then going the other direction. So that's cute. I like that idea. I ordered a new bed. I'm excited. So we're going to turn this living room into a bedroom for now. I think I mentioned in a previous video that I've been sleeping on the couch for almost 2 years now because my dad's got dementia and somebody's got to keep an eye on him and keep him from sneaking out the door at night and things like that. So I was the one who gets to do that. We got a tote bag. I love tote bags. So anyway, I ordered a new bed, and it should be getting here sometime this week. It says, the moon is a loyal companion. Oh, that's cool. If you look closer at the moon phases on this one, they've got more detail, so that actually kind of looks like the moon surface. Let's see if I can scoot that around a little. That one's really cool. At first I thought it was the Earth, but I think it's just the moon and its surface, so that's really neat. The moon is a loyal companion. I like it. I love tote bags. One can never have enough tote bags. Of course, somebody who doesn't like tote bags will be like, one can have too many, but I don't think there's any such thing as too many. I use them constantly. Okay, this says, with freedom, books, flowers, and the moon, who could not be happy? It's a quote from Oscar Wilde. Is this a notebook? Yeah, this is just a lined notebook. Can you see the lines? There's the lines. It's got a nice hard cardboard cover. Lots of pages. This is a thick one. It just says Al-Crate on the back. But yeah, I like that. And I can always use notebooks. Matter of fact, I bought notebook paper yesterday because I was running out. Al-Crate exclusive 300-piece Mooney puzzle. Right now is a good time for people to be doing puzzles if they can't get out of the house. If you're not an essential worker and you're quarantined, yeah, do a puzzle. Read a book. Oh, I just saw this when somebody got it in a fake crate yesterday, or that I saw on YouTube. So here's our book. It's called The Bone Crier's Moon by Catherine Purdy. So I guess this is the big release for this month. I hadn't heard of it until I saw it yesterday when somebody was opening their fake crate. Although they kept saying it was the March crate. I bet she meant April, even though it showed up in May. And here's the author letter, the picture of the book. It's got, I don't know if you can tell, it's got kind of a goldish, sparkly sprayed edge, a slightly metallic sprayed edge. Signed. The end papers are plain. The fake crate had a patterned end paper, that's why I was looking. So it's amazing that there's so many different editions of the same book. And this one's kind of a grayish color with like gold foiling. Well, I'm kind of glad I only bought one box this month, because what would I do with multiple copies? I've got a couple other books that I ended up getting duplicates because I had more than one box come in. What's this one about? We'll have to make our own sacrifices one day, and it will be easier if we don't grow attached to those destined to die. Bone criers have a sacred duty. They alone can keep the dead from preying on the living, but their power to ferry the spirits of the dead into Goddess Alara's night heavens or Tyrus's underworld comes from sacrifice. The gods demand a promise of dedication at the cost of the bone crier's one true love. They've got such interesting names, they're hard for me to figure out how to pronounce them. Elise? I'm going to say Elise. Has been prepared since birth to become the matriarch of the bone criers, but first she must complete her rite of passage and kill the boy she's also destined to love. Well, that sucks. Bastion's father was slain by a bone crier, and he's been seeking revenge ever since, but his vengeance comes too late. Elise's ritual has begun, and now their fates are entwined in life and in death. Sabine has never had the stomach for the bone crier's work, but when her best friend, Elise, is taken captive, Sabine will do whatever it takes to break the bond between Elise and Bastian before they all die. The first pulse-pounding novel in a new duology from New York Times bestselling author of Burning Glass shines with the doomed romance, macabre magic, and a betrayal with the power to shatter the boundary between the living and the dead. Sounds interesting. I think it's a pretty cover. I love the shiny leaves and things. And there's even a little owl. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little tiny owl hiding in the leaves, which makes it perfect for Owl Crate, right? But I love this, the way the leaves are done. Those are so pretty. I'm interested. I think this sounds pretty good, and it's going to be a duology. I'm not familiar with Burning Glass. I don't know what that one is. But apparently it was a New York Times bestseller. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this particular author. Catherine Purdy lives near Salt Lake City, Utah with her husband and 3 children. Catherine is a trained classical actress who studied at the Oxford School of Drama. She also writes songs on her guitar for each of her stories and shares them on her website. Bone Crier's Moon is her love letter to France, where she spent a summer when she was 19, and the 3 French girls who helped her through her own rite of passage. Oh, cool. I need a book set in France for a challenge I'm working on. And what else is in here? This the end of the box. We have the spoiler card, or the reveal card. Theme of the May box is Rebels with a Cause. Every May box will include a graphic novel from Oni Press. 2 books in 1 box. That's cool. So if you're not already a subscriber and you like graphic novels, there's going to be a graphic novel in the next box. 2 in 1. That's a pretty good deal. They do that occasionally. Okay, so here is the difference between the original and the Owl Crate. Owl Crate's more blue, which I like better. It's also closer up on the people. I think it's a pretty cover. I like it. Let's see. There's a puzzle, a word search puzzle, and an interview with the artist who did the tote bag. Here's all the stuff for Instagram challenge, their photo challenges. Mischief and Moonlight, a bookish playlist inspired by Remus Lupin. To listen, scan the code using Spotify app or visit this link. There you go. Remus Lupin, of course, from Harry Potter. For those who aren't familiar, he's a werewolf, hence the name Lupin. Remus is a wolf from Roman mythology. You know, Romulus and Remus, the 2 wolves. Anyway, or the 2 children raised by wolves founded Rome. So anyway, way off on a tangent. That is the April Owl Crate. And hopefully the next video I make, I'll be able to show off my new bed. Because it's going to be right here. I'm going to get rid of this horrible, evil couch and put in a bed. And then if anybody comes to visit, I guess they sit on the bed because I won't have any chairs. Such is my life. But the exciting thing is tomorrow, and I'm really shocked because tomorrow is a Sunday, and I just got a phone call from O.W.L.s saying that the new bathroom sink that I ordered will be delivered tomorrow on a Sunday, which just blows my mind. I just ordered it like technically Friday mornings. It was just after midnight. Went online. I'm like, I need a sink because my dad, which I know I've mentioned before, he's 85. He has dementia. He has this thing about going into the bathroom and turning the water on and leaving it run, and then going back to bed or going and doing something else and just leaving the water run so that it then ends up flooding the bathroom floor. He's done this enough times now that the cabinet under our sink has gotten so waterlogged that the bottom of it pretty much is disintegrating. And now the sink is at a weird angle. So if you turn water on at all, it just runs straight to the floor. Because there's a little leak around the faucet, which is exaggerated with the tilt. It's dangerous. Therefore, I ordered a brand new one as soon as the money showed up in our account. And therefore, as soon as it gets here tomorrow, I will be able to start looking for a plumber to come and put it in, hopefully beginning of the week. Sooner the better. I don't know anything about plumbing. If I did, I could turn the water off to the sink and solve that whole issue, but it has to be replaced because, I mean, the cabinet holding the sink up is just, it's collapsing. And you can tell it was a DIY project from the people who lived in the house before my parents bought it. And let's see, they've been here since, I want to say they moved down here in 2003. So for the last 17-ish years, 16, 17 years, they've had this god-awful, ugly cabinet under the sink that was obviously a DIY project from the people who lived here before, because it's made out of like particle board. The side that's collapsing is made out of particle board, and that's what's disintegrating and collapsing. So we're getting a new sink. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow. Yay! I'm so excited. And then sometime during the next week, hopefully, I should be getting my new bed. Lots of changes. And I'm excited. The stimulus thing couldn't have happened at a better time. It happened right when we needed it to happen. And therefore, I'm able to do a few minor things like replace a sink that's falling apart. And get a bed so that hopefully I can actually get a decent night's sleep for a change. I haven't had a decent night's sleep in over 2 years. You can tell. Look at the bags under my eyes. You can tell. And it's frustrating, and I feel like I'm a person I don't like being because I'm always so tired and grumpy all the time. I try to project nice. I haven't felt very nice in especially the last month. Things have just been insane. But then I've been pretty much trapped at home 24/7 with my dad. I look forward to going to the grocery and dealing with the idiots at Walmart just to get out of the house and away from him for a little bit. Because if you've never dealt with a person who has dementia, if you've never been a caregiver for somebody who has dementia, it is very difficult. It's a thankless task. He doesn't understand anything anymore. I compare him to being an 85-year-old toddler. Mentally, he's probably somewhere on that level. He's at the point where you say, no, don't do this, and that's like the sign to go do it. Just like a toddler. The other big issue is when I call him on it, he lies about it. Just like a toddler. I told you not to turn the water on. I didn't even go in the bathroom. You just came out of the bathroom, the water's running. The one day I heard the water start and I stepped into the bathroom and I'm like, turn the water off. I didn't turn it on. You're the only one in the bathroom. It just came on. That's why I stepped in here, because I don't want it flooding the bathroom again. Well, I didn't go in the bathroom. You're standing in the bathroom. This is daily for me, multiple times a day. So that's why I'm excited to finally have the new sink coming, because now I can put a faucet lock on it. Because I purposely ordered a faucet that will work with the faucet lock that I ordered. Unfortunately, the faucet I have, the handles have a curve, and the lock doesn't work on a curved handle. It has to be a squared off handle, and the handles, or the faucet I ordered, has squared off handles. If nothing else, hopefully the plumber can figure out why I can't turn the hot water off. I've managed to turn off the cold water using the little shutoff valve under the sink, and I thought I'd turned all the water off, but no, it only turned off the cold water side. So I got to looking, well, there's a second valve knob farther back. Turned it all the way, thought I had turned the water off, tried it, water. Maybe it needs to turn the other direction. So I turned it all the way to the other side, flipped the thing, water. I cannot get the hot water turned off. So that means either there's a third knob that we can't see, or something's set up wrong, which is highly possible since the person that owned the house before my parents did a lot of DIY stuff. They DIY'd their electric. That's a whole other story. And they DIY'd some of the plumbing. And now that we're having issues, we're discovering some of these things, like I can't turn off the hot water. If I could just turn off the water, that would solve part of the problem. But since I can't, the problem persists. So, fingers crossed that with this new sink that arrives tomorrow, we'll be able to get a plumber in right away. And because we had a plumber in October, I think, because we had a leak in the basement that I didn't know about for a couple months. I noticed that our water bill had gone up significantly, but I couldn't figure out why. And one day the people from the water company came and knocked on the door. They were ready to dig up our lawn. And they said, but there's no wet spots in the lawn. So it's something in the house. So my son went down in the basement and he said, yeah, there's a big leak down there that we didn't know about. Because I never go in the basement if I can avoid it, because the steps are real steep and narrow, and yeah, I don't like them. If we had a better stairway, I'd be more willing to go up and down and go into the basement, but I try not very hard not to have to do that. Anyway, the joys of owning an old house, or living in an old house. My dad owns it. I'm just living here. Anyway, the joys of an old house. Discovered the leak. The plumber was awesome. He showed up, took a look at it, says, I need to go get a part. He went, got the part, came back, fixed it within 10, 15 minutes max. It was a $100 job, including parts and labor and everything. He says, and the first 50 of that's just because it's a house call, which obviously the first 50 is always going to be a house call. So, yeah. Get a drink here. Anyway, now that I've told you all this stuff you really don't care about, I guess I should let you go, because, I mean, the unboxing's been done for quite a while now, and I'm just babbling on, pretty much because I don't really have anybody else to babble to. You guys are my therapy. Anyway, exciting stuff happening. New sink coming. New bed coming. Owl crate is ordered for May. Unicorn crate is ordered for the May-June box. Whenever it shows up, it'll show up. If LitJoy gets more in stock, I will try ordering that one, because it sounded really good. It had to do with, like, magical school or something. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what the theme was, but it was something to do with, like, magic school. And that sounded really neat, and the book they described sounded really neat, so I hope I can order that one. Stay tuned. If I get it, I'll open it. If I don't get it, obviously I won't open it. Anything else I need to talk about? I don't know. I did the owls for April. I read a book for every prompt. So I did all 12 classes plus the Dragon Tamer, or whatever it was called. I could look it up. Yeah, Dragon Tamer. So for Ancient Runes, I read a book called The Heart and Other Body Parts. I loved the fact that there was a Japanese demon cat. It was amazing. For arithmancy, I read Song of the Jade Lily. Had to do with World War II in China and Australia, because the people moved from China to Australia. I thought it was pretty good. I like some historical stuff. For some reason, my historical stuff has a tendency to go to World War II. I don't know why. For astronomy, I read Prince Caspian, which is one of the Chronicles of Narnia. At some point, I'll read more of them. I've read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and now Prince Caspian. They're okay. It's not my thing, but I would like to actually finish the series at some point. Care of Magical Creatures, a book with a creature with a beak on the cover. I read The Unhoneymooners. It had it like a toucan, so it had a pretty big beak. I thought it was fun. I do occasionally read contemporary romances, and I've thought that was fun. It's the first one I've read from Christina Lauren. Completely blinked on the name there. For Charms, a book with a white cover, I read Daisy Jones and the Six. I liked it better than The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I thought Evelyn Hugo was fine, but I kind of like the Daisy Jones format better, I think, as an audiobook. And it reminded me a lot of Fleetwood Mac. I'd heard a lot of comparisons, but after listening to it, yeah, a lot of similarities. For dark arts, set at the sea or coast, I read Shutter Island. I'd seen the movie before, so I kind of knew what to expect, and it was very similar. I liked it. I think I would like the book better if I hadn't already seen the movie. But then, that's how it goes. Divination. Use a random number generator to choose a book. I had a selection of books on my Kindle, or audiobooks on my Kindle on Overdrive, and I just kind of randomly picked one from that and ended up reading The Science of Fat. It was interesting, a little dry. Sometimes scientific nonfiction leans toward dry, but it was interesting about the different functions that fat serves in your body, and that how it's necessary to have at least some. I've got too much. A lot of people say that. And it's true for a lot of people, but then a lot of people who say it are stick thin and could actually use a little bit of fat on their body to make their body function better. Just saying. Anyway, herbology, title that starts with I read If We Were Villains, finally. I enjoyed it. I liked the Shakespearean stuff. I think that's what kept me interested, is the Shakespearean part. Otherwise, it's just a basic murder thriller thing. But the Shakespearean thing made it more interesting to me. History of Magic, a book that features a witch or wizard. I read Side Jobs, which is book 12.5 in the Dresden Files. And if you're familiar with that series, you know that Harry Dresden is a wizard. I actually watched season 1 of the sci-fi show, and it was pretty good. Didn't follow the books. A lot of differences. And the person they had playing Harry didn't match up with what I pictured, but that's okay. It was a fun show. Muggle Studies from Perspective of a Muggle, or a Contemporary. So I read The Flat Chair, which I thought was really cute and really fun. a little weird. I think it would be very weird to be like, yeah, I need to have somebody share my apartment, but there's only one bed and we have to share that bed, but you can have the apartment for these hours and I'll have it from these hours, and then not meet each other until, I don't know. It was odd, but I liked it. I think I gave it at least 4 stars, maybe 4.5. It wasn't a 5 for me, but it was like a 4 or 4.5. I thought it was pretty good. For potions, a book under 150 pages. I read one called Indian Heroes and Great Chieftains. I'm glad it was short. It was okay. And I learned about some different Native American figures that I hadn't heard of before. Some that I was familiar with. Like, I'd heard of Sitting Bull and I've heard of Chief Joseph, but then there were a few that I'm like, who are these people? I've never heard of them. So it was interesting learning about them a little bit. The way it was written, it was difficult for me to enjoy it. It wasn't written well, but it's also written in an older style, so it's a historical for me, but at the time it probably was a contemporary. Anyway, it was okay. Transfiguration, a book or series that includes shape-shifting. I read Magic Breaks, which is number 7 in the Kate Daniels series. And if anybody's familiar with that, you know that Curran is a lion shifter and head of the pack. Pretty good. I'm enjoying that series a lot. I just wish they were easier to get a hold of on either Overdrive or Scribd or whatever. Don't get me started on Scribd. I'm having some issues with Scribd. But then the last thing was Dragon Tamer, which was something new this year in the Owls, and it was to read a book with dragons. And I listened to A Dragon's Guide to Making Your Human Smarter, which apparently is book 2 in a series, and I didn't know it until I was like almost done with the book, and I happened to see, it was like Dragon's Guide number 2, and I'm like, really? I hate that when like Overdrive doesn't tell you it's part of a series, and then you listen to it, and then you find out, oh, there was books that came before. It's fine as a standalone, though. It's a contained story, so that's fine. I thought it was fun, a nice little adventure with a little girl and a dragon and things like that. So actually, you're going to get a twofer in this video, because I really should have done that as a separate video, but you know me, I go off on tangents and yeah, things go crazy. So I guess I will title this like Owl Crate Unboxing, Life Stuff, and Owls Recap. So if you like the video, click like, share, subscribe, click the bell icon if you want future notifications, blah, 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 blah. You know all this stuff, right? You know all this stuff. I'll try to remember to put my Owl Crate link in the description box. If you are interested in Owl Crate, everybody who subscribes gets their own personalized link. So if you subscribe through my link, then I think if I get, is it 3 people? I'm not entirely sure on the deals. I think it's if 3 people subscribe using my link, then I can get a free box. I don't know if there's a discount or anything. Like I said, I'm a little fuzzy on the details, but I do know that if so many people click my link and subscribe to the box, then eventually I can earn a free box, which would be nice. But if you're not interested, that's fine too. If you are interested, the link is there. Feel free to use it. No obligations or anything. So I guess that's about it, and I will see you in the next video, or you'll see me. I won't see you. I can't see you from here, but you'll see me in the next video. Bye-bye.